Hey, welcome back to Grit Gym. Rachel and Adam show Tuesdays. We're calling this a show from now on. I'm just gonna go for it. So the Rachel and Adam show goes Tuesdays at 12:30. Set a timer on your phone and be sure to click like, share, comment on down there in the bottom right hand corner of this video and send this up to everybody you know. If you hate the message that we're putting out, please put that out there and tell everybody that you're hating it. If you love the message that we're putting out there, please hit that share button and send it out to everybody you know. Today we're talking about challenges, some of the challenges that I've had in my life, some of the challenges that Rachel has had in her life, challenges that we've had in our relationship, the challenges along the way, because challenges are going to happen. A lot of people try to avoid challenge, like they try to avoid confrontation, and it doesn't usually work out. It usually doesn't work out to it. Like you can't avoid challenge. You can't avoid conflict. You can only delay it. So we're going to talk a little bit about challenges and what else was there? There's something
how you
else.
approach challenges.
And how you approach challenges. So how do you approach challenges?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
It's
you
different for
prepared?
everything. Well, okay.
The
so
challenge of doing this show, the challenges of...
Challenges happen the second you wake up. Like, getting out of bed is a challenge sometimes.
Oh, okay.
So
I see
I'm
what
just
you mean.
saying...
I think a lot of people could
of,
say that getting out of bed is a challenge sometimes. I think everybody can...
Yeah. So, like, along the way, that's how you approach things. Like, if getting out of bed is a challenge, then going to sleep earlier is going to be more beneficial. But what I'm trying to talk about is how you can approach them and get a better outcome. If you're approaching them with a bad attitude and, I don't know, not very excited.
Oh, you mean like a challenge comes in front of you and you try to avoid it, or a challenge comes in front of you and you're scared of it, or a challenge comes in front of you and you're like, fuck this, I don't even want to deal with it, or your challenge comes in front of you and you're like,
you're more likely not to have
oh,
a better
why me?
outcome.
Yeah.
If that happens. So, certain things you can kind of change your mindset to make a better outcome for yourself.
Hey, I just realized that we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this live. Here, this is yours, and this is mine. A microphone. My bad, guys. You probably couldn't hear us very well there for a little bit.
Testing.
Yep. Now we're good. All right. So what were you saying?
Having a good attitude going into a challenge, whether it's getting out of bed or going to your morning workout or going into work.
So are you framing everything, like, are you saying everything's a challenge, or are you saying some things are more challenging than others?
Saying you can decide whether it's a challenge.
I mean, I think you could make a case for everything being a challenge. I mean, like anything that
be.
You might, like doing the dishes. Like, I can't tell you how easy it is for me to just put off doing the dishes, put up this chore, this task, this whatever you want to call it, that's going to take me 5 minutes. I can find 35 minutes of other things to do before coming back and just being like, get the goddamn dishes done. So is that on some level a challenge, and would it just been better if I just knocked it out from the get-go? Like going and doing your workout. That's why I say like the less time that you don't go and do your workout, the better off you are. Like go get that workout.
Well, if your mindset is about creating excuses and diversions, then you're probably not going to get it done, and you're just not going to do it well.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm...
So if you have a bad attitude, you're going to do it poorly.
Mm-hmm.
And if you make excuses, it's just never going to get done. I really think your diversion is a really good way to describe an excuse. I think you're diverting away from the life that you want to live.
Diverting.
I think you're proving to yourself that, I don't deserve that life anyway, so I'm going to make an excuse for why I didn't go and try, so that I have a reason for, like, I have like an alibi in my my own sabotage.
Yeah. It's how your mind kind of tricks you into feeling okay about it.
Yeah.
Being content, but really you're not going to be content, because a couple years down the road when you've gained a bunch of weight or whatever.
Are you really out of shape?
I'm just saying, like, if you avoid...
Like when you're playing Party Girl?
When you avoid any sort of exercise or being healthy, you're going to kind of realize that those were all excuses. It wasn't about... I don't know. It's a challenge. Obviously, it's a challenge. It's called working out. You're working.
Yeah.
So, but is it going to give you a better outcome to go in excited? I think so. And are you going to be better on the end of that challenge? I think so. Whether the outcome is bad or good, I think you're just going to benefit.
From taking a challenge?
Yeah, taking on a challenge.
Well, like how do people even, I mean, most people I don't think they realize when there is a challenge present. They don't even acknowledge that they're being challenged.
That's true also. And
or they don't take the
mindset.
challenge.
Exactly. It's like the movie, Yes Man.
Yeah. With Jim Carrey?
With Jim Carrey.
Where he says yes to everything and he ends up having a mail order bride and...
It's not about that, though.
I know.
Yeah. Like, on the outside, that's what the movie is about. But it's about him saying yes to all the things he's been saying no to.
Yeah, he's been saying no to life.
He's been saying no to life.
And then he starts conditioning himself to say yes to life. And that leads to other things.
He made a deal with himself that he had to say yes to everything. And look at all the things that he experienced from that.
Yeah.
He went into it with a plan, and on the outside of it, he got to experience all those life experiences.
It's kind of a crazy movie.
It is.
There's a duality there, right? Like saying yes, like say yes to life, obviously, but like saying yes to yourself, I think is just as important. Mm-hmm. Like if I say no to you, is that always a no to you, or is it most of the time is it a yes to me?
It depends on what you're saying no to.
Yeah, I think so.
But
I think it matters how you frame it, and that can be a challenge in itself. I think mindset can be a challenge in itself. But I really think like most people are running away from challenges. They're just running away. And the message I'm trying to put out is embrace that challenge as best as you possibly can, because the more pressure that you can put on yourself, you should be leveraging as much pressure against yourself as you possibly can, because pressure, like the pressure makes diamonds, is cliche and everything, but it's true. It's accurate. So
pressure makes diamonds. That's a good one.
But I want to employ everybody around me to try to put as much pressure on me as I possibly can. Like I want you to be putting pressure on me. I want everybody to be putting so much pressure on me that I'm like, back off, and you keep on putting more pressure on me.
But when it comes down to it, you have to be your own cheerleader.
Yeah.
You're not relying on that, but you do. I mean, yeah. Put
I
pressure
don't know.
on me.
Like the word,
I put pressure on you.
The word cheerleader.
I don't know if a cheerleader for yourself, like your own motivation.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, like it has to go, like no one else can get inside your head. Like you are responsible for 100% of your thoughts, actions, feelings, and behaviors, because no one else has ever been up here. I said that in front of somebody one time. I said, life is a solo trip, and they got pissed. And they were like, what about your mom? And I was like, my mom's never been inside my brain.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, no one has ever been inside my brain. So like my life is a solo trip in that way. And so I have to be responsible for it. So yes, but at the same time, like I want that influence. That positive influence, even if it's negative, like I don't really care, like pushing me towards something new. Pushing me to, because I think some people really do well with that challenge. Like you can't. Like it's people that tell you that you can't,
all right.
And you take that challenge.
Well, once you take the challenge, you're kind of making new comfort zone. You've tried something new. I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example.
Yeah,
you
I think you're right. Like
those failures, and you've learned from them, and you've got better at learning from them.
Well, that's courage. You did the thing that you were scared of. Like people think that courage is something that you perform up front, but you don't have courage before you do the scary thing. You get courage as a product of the scary of doing the thing that was scary, and then you get a little bit more, and then you reinvest that, and then you get a little bit more, and then you reinvest that, and you do that through continual challenges. I think anyway, and then your courage just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows until you don't even recognize who you are anymore because you're a completely new person. That's a good question. But we did that with like one of the ways that we've leveraged pressure on ourselves. Like I've asked you to do it, but we did the $1,000 check thing. That was one of the. I think that's a challenge. Do you want to tell them about that?
Yeah, I think we kind of talked about it last time.
We did.
But like we both had a task at hand.
Pretty big one.
To do, each of us, and we decided, or you mentioned it, we write each other a $1,000 check. And then if we didn't get it done by that weekend, by a certain time, then we got to cash each other's check.
Yeah, so we exchanged $1,000 checks, and so if Rachel didn't get her thing done, I was going to cash the check, and if I didn't get my thing done, she was going to cash the check. But if she did get hers done and I didn't, guess who got $1,000?
I
didn't get $1,000. She did. Yeah.
But I didn't actually.
But neither of us got $1,000 because we both got it done. And that's the point. But yeah, I do think though there's ways to do it like that. That's kind of a more positive way, but it puts something on the line, and I think something's on the line all the time, and people get in this idea that safety and I want things to just be easy going, and not like to me, like I think you want turbulence. I think you want that challenge. I think you want ups and downs.
That's how you grow.
Yeah, I think that's how you grow, and that's where like everything's fun too. Like that's all the good stuff. I think anyway.
Chaos. Not chaos.
Yeah, chaos could elicit like some like kind of negative vibes,
chaos.
But yeah, totally. But
with that, I kind of wrote down like certain things that you could talk, like certain questions you could use to talk yourself out of doing.
Like what?
Challenges. So we can use exercising for an example.
What is it?
You went through your shirt?
Yeah, of course it did.
Okay. Well, exercise for an example. So I said, say someone's trying to challenge you in a conversation and like kind of bring a topic up that's kind of hard to...
You mean like say
religion, politics,
you're wrong,
whatever.
Or challenge you in like...
In your beliefs and your...
Okay.
How you... So...
In a positive way or
I
negative
try
way?
to always ask myself, am I being closed-minded?
Okay.
Because I think everybody can be kind of closed-minded or biased in certain topics.
Yeah, you have no choice but to be
well, there's no right or wrong answer for so many things. So.
Yeah. But you're going to be biased. That's one of those things.
Exactly.
That like it's proven that we all have biases or biases.
Biases.
Yes. Hello, Amanda Scott.
Am I being closed-minded, or am I making excuses for myself? Am I being scared? That's one that a lot of people could.
What are you trying? Like, that's another one. What's some of the other? How will this benefit me? Yeah, that's like that. How will it serve me? How does this serve me?
How is this challenge, even if I do fail, going to benefit me? Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, learning from a mistake is kind of sometimes more powerful.
And this is one of those things, like, why are you, like, what's even the intent of asking the question? This is something I think a lot of people, like, in the world right now, we're so unclear on what thought, love, hate, like all these words get thrown around, but I don't know if everybody has given themselves a very clear idea of what this is. Like, if I ask most people, like, what's the opposite of love? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Well, what's the opposite of hate? How do you define love? How do you define hate? I've asked people, like I'm enough of a weirdo to ask people these questions.
Yeah, you definitely are.
Yeah, I know. Like if you really think about it, like what's the opposite of hate? It's not love. What's the opposite of fear? It's not love. It's thought, like conscious thought, rational thought, negotiating your thoughts. It's like objective thought is, I think, what you're trying to get to when you ask questions, because when you ask questions, you get people thinking.
Yeah.
You know?
It kind of creates I don't know.
It's like when I get a hater, the first thing I do is like, what do you mean? What does that mean?
What is it?
Like I want to ask questions because I want to get some clarity before I join them in their bullshit.
Because you don't know where they're coming from. You don't know what they're pissed about.
Mm-hmm.
They could write it on there.
They could even
this is what you're dead wrong.
They could even not be a hater. It could just be me taking it personal for no apparent reason.
That too.
You know,
that's why it's good to ask
I could be in error, but I think that's what you're doing there. Like if you're saying like, is this an excuse? Am I making excuses?
Holding myself back? Is it me or is it the challenge? Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, if the challenge was jumping up a bridge, then you could probably make some argument that you shouldn't be doing it.
It could be really cool to jump off a bridge.
It could be awesome. But you have to ask these questions before you do it. Is it going to benefit me? Probably not. If I jump off a bridge and land on cement, then I'm probably not going to benefit.
How high is the bridge? How deep is the water?
I mean, yeah. You got to use your judgment. I don't know. That's an extreme example, but
yeah,
you're going to come like challenges, like I don't know, throughout the day that you clearly shouldn't be making. Like I don't know, driving drunk. That's another challenge.
It is?
Well, I mean, it's just one of the things that you need to use your common sense. Like, is it good or is it bad? Is it going to benefit me by driving home? Yes, you might have your car in the morning, but what's that going to...
All right. So what's some of the like other challenges besides like what's in my life, attention deficit and dyslexia were challenges, and everybody told me this is the life that you can expect. You're stupid. You read slow. You're a slow learner. You're never going to make it. And I had a couple teachers along the way. I had one. I had to go to like basically a summer tutor to be able to read. Because I was so far behind, and I started going to this tutor. Her name's Brenda Bean, awesome person, amazing person. It was so much so that like when she walked up, it didn't really hit me until she walked up to me at my graduation, and we talked for a little bit, and I was like, I didn't know how to express like, oh my God, like,
thank you.
I haven't thought of how much that made such a huge difference, just sitting and how patient she was with me when I like seriously could not read. I had to sound out every single word. And
stuck it out.
And she stuck it out with me, yeah. But like everybody said, like basically, when the image that I had in my head was that I was going to have some really low level job that I was going to hate, and I was going to be really stupid, and I wasn't like all the other kids. And I was like, I'm going to prove them all wrong. I don't care if I have to work 10 times as much, if I have to learn 10 times as much. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. And because they told me I couldn't, that created a challenge where I was like, I want to prove everybody wrong. Mm-hmm. I don't want to shove it in their face. I just want to prove them all wrong.
And that's a challenge that is like an everyday thing, especially when you're in school.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of forced to read a lot. So,
but I think like the world runs from these things, though. They're I don't want that challenge. I don't want to. I think that's the dumbest, maybe not the dumbest, but like that's the opposite of everything that you want. Everything that you want in your life, all these great, wonderful things, they're on the opposites. They're from the challenge that you will grow. Anyway, but they said that in wrestling too. That like I had a wrestling coach. I'm really glad I had the wrestling coach I had when I was in elementary school, because wrestling wasn't a thing in my family. And when I went out for wrestling, I was so bad. I was so bad. I didn't understand it. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no guidance. I didn't know how to be aggressive. I knew how to be angry, which isn't the same as aggression. Anyway, I had a coach, and he just kept on telling. I think he was just telling me the story. I really do. I think he had 50 kids in that room, and he was just telling me the story. Because I was like looking back. Because he knew I was having such a tough time. But yeah, I just kept on going out. And I don't know how many matches I did each year, but I bet you I did over 30. And I won one match my first year. I won one match my second year. I won one match my third and my fourth year. I won 4 matches in 4 years. And it sucked so bad. And he would always tell the story about when he started wrestling, he didn't win a match for 4 years. So I was like, man, at least I'm doing better than him. But if you've ever wrestled, you know that it's this insanely emotional sport where it just sucks so bad, and you just like put so much of your of yourself on the line going out there mano a mano against somebody else. It's very dominating. So when you lose, it like hurts deep. And all of a sudden, I started figuring out a couple things. I went to a couple clinics that it kind of clicked. Like a couple things kind of clicked, and all of a sudden I started winning, and I started winning, and I started winning, and I started winning, and I was just like, thank God that I stuck it out for the time that I did. And I started standing up to bullies, and I started, standing up for myself. I still got my ass kicked a whole bunch, but from like older siblings that were just beating the shit out of me. At least I could like have some tools to fight back, and defend myself.
Well,
so like
you just got to step up to the plate and do it.
But like these challenges are awful. Like emotionally, they suck. But
losing sucks.
But over time, taking that challenge eventually grows you into something that. And so many people are so willing to. They don't like they get slapped in the face once and they never go back out again. It's like.
Yeah, I can see that. But I mean, in your case, it kind of built you up to be somebody that could win because you learned from it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you didn't learn something from from any of those matches.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't go back and redo it all.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice to win, but you don't really learn a whole lot when you win the whole time.
Yeah, when you win all the time, when you always win, there is a certain amount of that I call like total BS on. When people are like, you should seek failure. I'm like, no, you should seek to succeed, and you just are going to happen to fail along the way, but you always look for that positive result.
Yeah, I thought about that when I was. You're not seeking the failure. You're seeking success, which means you're going to come across a lot of failure.
You're gonna screw up a lot. Yeah.
No matter if it's small or not.
Like if you add those up, if I did 30 matches each year and I won one of them, let's say I did 31, and so that's 120 matches in 4 years, and I won 4 matches.
That must have sucked.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But I think wrestling is kind of. I think that happens quite often, right?
I don't know.
The whole.
I don't think it happens very often. I think most kids end up they get beat that bad for as long as I got beat. And
you stuck it out though. That's
so yeah, it either means I'm tough or stupid, and maybe both.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably both.
But what's the alternative? What would be the alternative?
Staying at home and kind of just envying the people that are doing it.
Sure. And then what would have happened later on? Like, what would have happened now? Like, if you give up in yourself,
who knows
what happens? Like, you get in the habit of not taking the challenge over and over and over again until it just becomes the norm, and then you don't even think about taking the challenge, and then it's just over.
It's kind of the same thing, like, with social anxiety. I remember when I was in junior high, like, the thought of going and talking to, like, or sitting at a table with people you don't know is, like, the most extreme anxiety ever as like a seventh grader. But if I wouldn't have done it, I would have just sat in like the locker room by myself, or like nobody would know who I was.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the Unabomber. He spent 30 years in that little shack and then at the end he wonders why he's a 54-year-old virgin and has no friends.
Yeah, in his closing statements, he's talking about. We just watched the show Manhunt over the last few weeks, and it was super good, by the way. Definitely interesting
on Netflix.
Interesting watch on Netflix, but yeah, it was kind of interesting. He admitted to he's like, really what I want is. He admitted to wanting relationship and wanting relationships and wanting connection, but he couldn't figure out why he couldn't do it.
Yeah. He didn't even.
But he
didn't even try to do it.
Yeah, he's kind of living by his own ideal. That's kind of like the do what you love and the money will follow. It's kind of like do what you love and the person who loves you will be there. It's like that's kind of bullshit. On both of those accounts. Now, if you want to meet somebody, you got to go out and you got to shake some hands. It's going to
be scary, but. Who knows what the conversation could turn into?
You're not going to get in shape by not showing up to your workouts. It's not going to happen. And you're not always going to enjoy that workout. It's just not going to happen.
You're not going to meet people by staying at home and watching TV. Or by eating your lunch in the locker room by yourself. That's not how it works.
No, not really. So, anyway, anything else you want to get across? I think we're kind of running up on time.
Yeah. Like, instead of looking for reasons to not do things, look for reasons to do things.
Yeah.
As well.
Reframe it.
Yeah, the mindset shift.
Yeah. How can this serve me?
Flip the switch and how can it serve it?
Yeah.
Serve you.
How can I make it serve me? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because, there's a lot of things that'll come across. I think when you really think about the opportunities that come up throughout the day or, like, throughout your week, you can miss out on a lot of things, like an invitation to the Super Bowl party or, I don't know.
Yeah, that was one of the challenges.
Going to your workout. Like, those are opportunities that you could have taken.
Yeah. And any one of those that you don't take is a failure. And you have to realize that that's a failure, and there's nothing wrong with failures.
There's nothing wrong with it, but
if you never had a failure, you'd never learn. So what's the failure? So I had a failure this weekend anyway. I don't want to go into the details of it because it takes too long to get to the end, but I have to, 1, acknowledge that it was a failure. 2, I have to learn as much as I possibly can from that failure. And then 3, I got to move on. I can't sit there and be like, oh, Sunday, crap, I should have done this on Sunday. No, I got to learn as much as I can so that I can be better at it the next time.
Move forward.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's good.
What's this? Sue. It's
my grandma.
It's your grandma.
What'd you say?
You're awesome. She said, I think you are both awesome. That means me too.
Good job.
Thanks. All right, thanks, Sue. We're gonna hop off. I hope you guys got something out of this. If you did, please put it down in the comments section. Please like, share, comment, especially that share button. Slap that share button, send it out to everybody. When you guys like the video, though, especially multiple times, when you just sit there and slam it and slam it and slam it, we actually see your faces glide across the screen. It's pretty fun. Anyway, it's just another way for us to be able to. What's that word? What's the word? What's not exchange, not communicate. I'll think about it later. It'll come to me. I'll be like, oh my God, that was the word. But anyway, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Please share the video. Also, this jacket that Rach is wearing and the shirt that I'm wearing right now. These are still, we still have a few of these left on sale at the Grit Gym store. So you just go to gritgym.com, and these turned out sweet, and these turned out sweet.
Yeah, these are my favorite.
Whether the logo's on there or not, but the sleeve says "do it anyway," and I think that's what it really comes down to. Anything that you don't want to do, you should probably think about doing that. And if you can come up with a reason for why it is serving you, no matter how much you don't want to do it
anyway.
Not planned at all.
Anyway.
Rach is hopefully getting used to those little weird things that I do. But anyway, thanks for being here, guys. Really appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow.